Hi, I'm Levi Ackerman, and I seriously cannot believe I'm about to do this yet again. I'm about to read yet another Ereri fanfiction. Let's see what's on the agenda today. We'll be reading Sweet Demon, Ereri, by Levi X Aaron 312. Let us begin. Aaron's point of view. I've had a crush on one of my upperclassmen, Levi H.O., but I, of course, haven't told him yet. I'm always too shy to tell him. I think I'm supposed to say this, but it's spelled G-I-S, gis, kind of thing. I don't even know if he'll be grossed out by it, exclamation point. So, for now, I'll keep it to myself, a forbidden secret locked away deep in my heart, soul, and mind. I woke up to a loud beeping in my room. I raised my arm trying to hit the snooze button, but I failed, and the alarm clock fell on the floor, forcing me to get out of my warm bed. I think that's supposed to say warm bed, but it says worm bed. I don't know what a worm bed would consist of. Maybe it would be comfortable? Who knows? Damn it! I sighed in irritation from me needing to get up to get my stupid alarm clock. I guess I glanced at the clock because I threw it right on my bed, running to my closet, getting clean clothes on. It's supposed to say clothes, like with a TH, but it says clothes as in close the door. As in, I chime in with the haven't you people ever heard of closing the goddamn door, close. Crap, I'm going to be late for school. Somebody's turning into a very anime protagonist. I rushed out my room, putting my black shoes on and running out the door with my school bag. I can't speak. I like how they put in the detail to add just the black shoes. We have no other color on any of the other outfits, but it's important we know these shoes are black. Magic time skip brought to you by the Yaoi gods. When I got to school, I ran straight to my first class, which was math. As I got to the door, I slowed down and just stood in front of the door, knowing I'll get a lecture from my math teacher. I took a deep breath and walked in the room. I can't believe this. The teacher wasn't even there. I sighed in relief, taking the seat next to one of my best friends, Armin Arlert. We've been friends ever since we were in 6th grade. So why isn't Mr. Irwin here? Okay. Mr. Irwin? His name's Irwin Smith. Why is it not Mr. Smith? Mr. Irwin. Maybe I should start calling him that. So why isn't Mr. Irwin here? Didn't you hear? He looked at me, raising an eyebrow, while I just stared back with a confused look on my face. Hear what? He was sent down to the office. Uh-oh, looks like Mr. Irwin's in some deep doo-doo. After hearing this, I looked at Armin with big eyes, holding back a grin, and laughed. For what? Come on, Armin, tell me, I asked him with interest. Well, he's sorta having trouble teaching a kid in one of his other periods, so they're transferring that kid in this class. How is transferring the kid that's just in another period to a different period gonna help? Who knows? I leaned back in my seat, losing interest and sighing in depression. Sighing. I wish I had $1 for every time I sighed in depression, thinking that my math teacher had gotten fired. What is your problem with Mr. Irwin? Why do you want him fired? Wow, Aaron is a very petty child. Just as I did this, the door opens and everyone looks their seats, sitting in utterly complete silence. Levi's point of view. Alright, so apparently this is my narration. I was with my math teacher, Mr. Irwin. Why isn't he Mr. Smith? Why is his first name his last name in this? Is his first name Smith? I'm so confused. I hated this fucker. He was switching my class period to a different one. Oh god, your life is horrible, other me. This made me irritated. I love how this little irritation is enough to create the response. I hated this fucker. I sighed and looked at the office lady and Mr. Irwin. Mr. Irwin. I just have to keep it together every time I have to say that. Taking with my emotionless and bored look. When will this day be over? I thought to myself as Mr. Irwin came over to me and put his hand on my shoulder, which made me jump. Are you ready to go to your new class? He looked at me with a smile on his face, which creeped me out a bit. Dude, the man's just smiling at you. Give Mr. Irwin a break. Jesus Christ. I looked away from his ugly, stupid face and muttered something under my breath, pushing his hand off my shoulder. You know what? Mr. Irwin is getting too much shit in this. He's just a poor, simple math teacher trying to do his job. Jesus Christ. We came to the same door I walked into from my other class period. Mr. Irwin opened the door and went in with me, following him. I looked around without turning my head and saw that the room was completely silent. I then looked at a boy who was staring at me. I guess we made eye contact because he looked away pretty fast, putting his head down. Chapter 2. Aaron's point of view. I can't believe this. We made eye contact. Me and my crush actually made eye contact. I was thinking to myself as I had my head on my desk, hiding my face. Okay, alright, question. So, Aaron has a crush on Levi already, but Levi clearly doesn't know who an Aaron is. So have they been in, like, the same class before? Well, they obviously haven't because he's, like, all excited that he's in the same class as Crush. But, tad confused. So, has Aaron been stalking Levi this time? How did this crush develop? Is it just because he thinks other me in this fic is hot? Aaron, are you okay? I could hear Armin whisper to me in a low voice so that no one could hear him. I shot a glance and smiled weakly. They spelled it instead of weekly as in I'm weak, weekly as in it's Sunday, that day of the week, at him. Yeah, I'm fine, really. I then put my head back, calming down a little. Okay, class, we have a new kid in this class. His name is Levi Ravelli Hecho. He came in here from another period of mine. Please make him feel welcome. Mr. Irwin was talking, but I didn't pay close attention to. All I was thinking about was Levi's eyes on my, I think it's maybe supposed to be mine, which made me squirm a little on my seat. Magic time skip from Levi's cleaning supplies. After school was finished, I was the last one in my class. Armin had archery practice. Mikasa had to go to her job at Walmart. I love that detail was included. I really needed that. Annie went with, I think it's supposed to be Reiner, but they spelled it Rainer, and Berthold to the movies, and Ymir and Krista were going home together. I let out a sigh and walked out of the classroom and bumped into someone. My eyes went wide when I saw Levi under me on the ground. Our faces just a few inches away. Right then and there, I thought I was going to die from embarrassment. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to fall on top of you, I said quickly, got off him as he sat up. He just gave glare with his LVEY, silver eyes. I don't know what. Maybe it's supposed to be ivory? I don't know. Was all he said, and stood up on his 2 feet. But I didn't expect him to offer his hand to me to help me up. I didn't expect him to offer me his hand to help me up. I expected it and stood up. What does that mean? What does that mean? Was all he said. And stood up on his own 2 feet, but I didn't expect him to offer me his hand up to help me up. I expected it. I'm so confused. Man, you really are a shitty brat. Excuse me, why do you say that? All of a sudden he came close to my face, being inches apart. Because you're blushing like a girl, was all he said, and backed up, leaving me there in the hall of the building. Leader's point of view. As I was walking, someone had bumped into me, making us both fall on the ground. I looked at him as he just stared at me, blushing like one of those crazy fangirls do. After he told me he was sorry, I got up and offered him my hand to help him up. Was all I said to him. Then I told him he was a little shitty brat. He gave me a death glare, which I thought was a pretty sexy look on him, so apparently other me is into that kind of shit. Excuse me, why did you say that? When I heard him say this, I couldn't help but put our faces only inches away once again. He says you're blushing like a girl. I then backed away, needing to stop myself from kissing him, and walked away, leaving him in the hall alone blushing. When I got home, I went straight to my room, and yes, I live all by myself. Sure it gets lonely, but I could put up with it. I sat on my bed, sighing in frustration. I let back, I think that's supposed to say lean back, and closed my eyes, and let the endless darkness swallow me whole. He's definitely a bit of a emo. And the tall boy creeping I think it's supposed to say in, but it just says I, to my mind, making it a dream. Alright, final chapter for today. Levi's point of view. I woke up from my slumber from a really good dream. Aaron and me. Okay, wait, how does he know his name? Because obviously when other me walked in, like, he just says the boy, so he doesn't know who Aaron is. I missed that they introduced this. Oh well. Aaron and me. I sighed and looked down at my pants, seeing that I was turned on by it. I sighed and looked down at my pants, seeing that I was turned on by it. Knowing that I didn't want to go to school, I leaned back on my wall, touching my growing erection, thinking about the dream and Aaron. I don't want to read this. I looked up, thinking about Aaron, and thought about how he would look. He was here with me, and the one touching me, kissing me, and fucking me. I let out a sigh and started touching myself more and more, calling out Aaron's name. Aaron, I then put my fingers at the entrance of my hole and pulled it in and out, repeating that session over and over until I finally came into my hand. Panting breathlessly, heavily, I sat down for an hour or so till I know I could finally get up to the bathroom to take my daily shower. I looked up in my math class, seeing that Levi wasn't there. I sighed in relief and disappointment. I saw Armin and sat at my seat. I think that's supposed to say talking, but there's a random I, like T-A-L-I, to liking, about our usual day. How was your morning so far? Or what did you eat for breakfast? Or did you listen to the music I sent you? Just as I was asking a question to Armin, I stopped right in the middle of it, feeling a wave of chills down my spine and my cheeks blushing a light color of pink. Cat, that's supposed to say what? This is cat, the hell was that? I asked myself as I saw Armin staring at me in a weird way. Are you okay, Aaron? Yeah, I think so. I sighed, and I thought of yesterday coming into my head, of Levi coming closer to my body and our faces only inches apart. I blushed and put my head down, sleeping through the whole lecture of my math class. Someone give poor Mr. Irwin a break. People hate him, people aren't paying attention to his class. This poor man. Armin woke me up when class was over and told me he would see me later at lunch as we walked out the classroom. And to my surprise, I bumped into Levi again, and this was the only one on the floor. Oh, it's the shitty brat. I looked in Levi's silver eyes, and I was flustered by the nickname he had given me. Start calling me that, I said, through gritted teeth, pushing myself off the hard, cold tile floor. How's nobody seeing this, nobody was maybe somebody shouldn't, what the fuck is going on in this? Okay, so he bumped into him again. On the floor, so it was nobody else Aaron, oh no, Aaron keeps falling on the floor, somebody help him up. Stop calling me that, I said through gritted teeth, pushing myself off the hard, cold tile floor. But it seems that you like it when I call you that. I can't believe he thinks this is funny to him. Why does he play around with my feelings like this? No, I don't. I hate it, Levi's point of view. I saw Aaron's face blush, and I couldn't help but laugh at how cute he looks while blushing that hard. So stop laughing at me. I looked him in the eyes and stopped laughing, earning a little jump from him as I returned my face back to the emotional stare I always had on. Aaron! I couldn't help it anymore. I grabbed his wrist and pulled him all the way to the infirmary and locked the door behind us. Okay, alright. One, shouldn't there be people in the infirmary? This is fucking school hours, okay? That first off. Second off, how does Levi have a key to lock the infirmary? Does he work here part-time as a janitor? What? Well, what are you doing? I have to get my next. I cut Aaron off with a kiss on the lips, pushing him up against the wall shortly after he kissed back and deepened the kiss as I pushed our bodies closer and closer together. You know what? I really hope there isn't some other kid going on that fell or has a fever and has to go to the nurse. And guess what? Sorry, buddy. Not only is there no nurse, but somebody's locked themselves in there and they're having sex. So you're gonna have to put that 105 fever away. I could hear Aaron moaning as I pulled away from the kiss, but having a stream of saliva still connecting our lips. The Levi, I could see the lust in his eyes, and smirked at it, putting my leg between his grinding into his growing erection. Does this feel that good to you, Aaron? I whisper his name in his ear as I licked and nipped at it. Yes, you know, Jaeger, I think you're pretty cute like this, all heated up and hot inside. I slid my hand down his pants and started to pump his erection, hard, earning moans from the tall boy. Levi, it feels so good. Levi, I'm gonna come. I smiled and missed him one last time. Missed him? I think I was supposed to kiss him. Still pumping him, causing him to buck his hips and come in my hand. I pulled my hand out of his boxers and licked the white worm. Oh my god. It's supposed to say worm again, and they wrote worm. I just got literally the most horrifying image in my head. I licked the white worm liquid off my hand, letting Aaron drop to the floor. I kissed him on the head and put him on one of the beds and let him sleep. Why the fuck? Where the fuck is the nurse? Like, how is this woman getting paid? Or man, I'm not sexist. I left the room smirking at the thought that I had touched him and went back to class, happy and satisfied with my work. That's all I'll be reading for today. If you guys like this, maybe I'll read the next couple chapters. Send me a comment, give me a comment if you would like that. So yeah, that was something. Levi out!